Hello, my loves. I'm Venus Morrigan, and today we're going to talk about something that is often overlooked but is absolutely essential for a fulfilling and healthy sex life: communication. So many men grow up believing that sexuality is something they should instinctively understand, that their desires, their performance, their needs, everything should come naturally, without discussion, without vulnerability, without the need to ask questions or express emotions. But let me ask you something. How can you truly connect with someone? How can you fully experience intimacy if you're afraid to talk about it? Sex is not just a physical act. It is an emotional, psychological, and deeply personal experience. And yet, so many men feel disconnected from their partners, unsure of how to express what they want, or afraid to open up about what they struggle with. They fear being judged, misunderstood, or even rejected. And that fear? It creates distance. It builds walls where there should be trust. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to me, and it allows us to keep having these important conversations. Now, let's talk about why communication is the foundation of not just a healthy sex life, but a deeper, more fulfilling connection with yourself and your partner. For many men, the idea of talking about sex feels uncomfortable. Maybe we're raised in an environment where these discussions didn't happen, where sex was something whispered about, not openly discussed. Maybe you've internalized the idea that men should just know what to do, that asking questions or expressing concerns is a sign of weakness. But here's the truth: there is nothing stronger, nothing more confident than a man who can communicate. A man who can express his desires, listen to his partner, and create a space where both people feel safe to be themselves. Because, you see, the moment you start communicating, everything changes. When you talk openly with your partner, you remove the pressure to perform and replace it with the freedom to explore. You shift from worrying about whether you're doing something right to actually understanding what brings both of you pleasure. So many sexual issues, performance anxiety, mismatched libidos, dissatisfaction, aren't just physical problems. They are problems of disconnection, of silence, of unspoken fears and unmet needs. When a man feels he can't talk about what he's experiencing, when he bottles up stress, shame, or confusion, that tension builds. It manifests in the body. It becomes frustration, avoidance, or self-doubt. And let's talk about the impact of emotional connection. So many men are conditioned to separate emotions from sex, to see intimacy as something purely physical. But real satisfaction, the kind that leaves you feeling truly fulfilled, comes from being emotionally present, from feeling seen, from knowing that you and your partner are in sync, not just in action, but in understanding. Imagine this. Imagine being able to say exactly what you like, what you fantasize about, what makes you feel good, without fear or hesitation. Imagine having a partner who does the same, who trusts you enough to share their deepest desires and vulnerabilities. When that happens, sex stops being a performance. It becomes an experience, something you create together, something that grows and evolves with time. And that brings me to another point: expectations. So many men struggle with unrealistic expectations, often shaped by media, by society, by things they were told they should be. They think they need to last longer, be harder, be constantly in the mood. And when reality doesn't match that expectation, they feel inadequate. But here's the thing: no one fits into those perfect, unrealistic molds. Real intimacy is about adapting, understanding, and being honest about what feels right in the moment. When you communicate, you take the guesswork out of intimacy. You don't have to assume what your partner wants, you can ask. You don't have to hide what you need, you can express it. And when there are challenges, whether it's stress, low libido, or something else, you don't have to suffer in silence. You can share, you can seek solutions together, instead of letting distance grow between you. And I know, for some men, talking about sex feels awkward at first. But like anything, communication is a skill. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. It can start with small things: a simple "I love when you do that," or "I'd love to try something new with you." It's about creating an environment where both people feel safe to be themselves, where curiosity replaces pressure, where openness leads to deeper pleasure. And this doesn't just apply to relationships. Communication with yourself is just as important. Do you take the time to truly understand your own desires? Do you allow yourself to explore what turns you on, what makes you feel good, without shame or self-judgment? Because when you have a deep understanding of your own needs, expressing them to someone else becomes much easier. Sex is meant to be enjoyed, shared, explored, not feared, not hidden behind unspoken rules and expectations. The most satisfying sex isn't the kind that looks perfect, it's the kind that feels authentic. And authenticity starts with communication. So, my love, if you take one thing from this conversation today, let it be this: your voice matters. Your desires, your needs, your fears, they all deserve space. And the moment you start giving them a voice, the moment you let go of the fear of saying the wrong thing and instead embrace the power of honesty, you unlock a whole new level of intimacy and confidence. I hope this video has given you something to think about, something to take with you into your own experiences. If this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. What has been your biggest challenge when it comes to communication? What has helped you open up more? I love hearing from you, and every time we talk about these things together, we make space for more understanding, more connection, and more fulfilling intimacy. Sending you all my warmth, and until next time, speak your truth, embrace your desires, and never be afraid to be fully yourself. A soft kiss, and I'll see you soon.